guys. Can you guys hear me? Let's see here. Looks like a couple people are coming on. Hey guys, let me know if you can hear me. All right, I see a couple more people coming on. All right. Hey, Melissa. It looks like we might be sideways again. See if that fixes it. It just doesn't like to do it, does it? All right. Can you guys? It's fixed. All right. All right, so everybody, today is the weekend and we are doing our Coronacation, little fun 2 weeks where Melissa and I are gonna come to you and just have a little bit of fun. So we appreciate you being here. I have guests today, my daughter and her boyfriend, who I hope will be fiance soon. It is his birthday and my daughter has been begging me to make this particular cake for him. So I thought I would do it for you guys, and then after this, we'll go eat it. What I'm gonna do is, because I know you guys are home with your kids, I know you guys aren't really selling right now, I'm gonna make it kid-friendly, which I've pretty much stuck to that theme. I don't know if we'll continue to stick with that theme, but I like it for now. So what we're gonna do today is a geode cake. And I'm gonna show you why it's a little bit more of the kid version. Okay, so I'm going to turn you down so that you can see. Okay, so you should be able to see my cake. Now this is a 6-inch cake, and I've already frosted it. I've already crumb coated it and frosted it. Inside it's red velvet. This is just a plain vanilla buttercream. I don't typically do cream cheese frosting, but you know, I would if I wasn't going to sell it. In my cottage law, I can't sell it, so I typically just make buttercream. So what I'm going to do is just kind of set this aside for now. And let me tell you, it's 3 very short layers, and this is a 10-inch board, which I would probably do an 8-inch for this cake, but I didn't have any, and I don't want to be buying any supplies right now, so we're just going with this one, and it's also for family. Okay, so we are going to make this kid-friendly because we are going to use Jolly Ranchers. Now, you can make the geode cake a lot of different ways. You can use Jolly Ranchers and melt them and put them into a mold. Like, have you seen the jewel molds, silicone molds? So you could heat this and pour them into the molds and make beautiful jewels. It gets very hot, and therefore it's not kid friendly. You could also get rock candy. I typically don't keep rock candy on hand. Nieces, nephews, lots of friends that have kids. So I always have Jolly Ranchers, and they're available everywhere. Gas stations, it doesn't matter. So very accessible and kid-friendly. Also, oh, I see my husband watching, which means my daughter was watching and means her boyfriend's watching. So, hi guys. You can also get ice melt from Amazon where it's just plain colored, clear. You melt it in the microwave. You could color it any color you want to. But again, it's very hot. And I wouldn't want to do it with my young child or my grandkids or anyone that could get burnt. I mean, we're talking serious, at least second-degree burns. So I'm going to show you a way that you can keep this kid-friendly and have a lot of fun. So what we're going to do, let me put you back down, is we are going to take these Jolly Ranchers, and they're just green. So one of the downsides of just using one color is that your cake is going to just have one color instead of that two-dimensional that's so popular. But I'm okay with that. So we're just going to open them all up, and I'm going to put them in this Ziploc baggie. And I'm just going to do a couple of them because I already have some done. But I just want to kind of show you how I do it. And I'm going to look and see if there's any questions. No questions so far, so that's great. And you can always ask me some questions. I am kind of watching the screen and doing this. So I'm just taking them out. They pop out really easy. Just whoop, super, super easy. And my daughter picked green for her boyfriend. Holly's here. Hi, Holly. And I'm assuming it's his favorite color. I should probably know because if he is watching, I want him to be my son-in-law, like today, if he's watching. Okay, so all right, we've got plenty in here, and we want to close it up. And this is something that your kids can do. It's going to be super fun. You can use a rolling pin. This is just a small fondant one, but also this is a meat cleaver thing. It's something of my husband's, okay? And I think the kids will really love to play with this. So we're just gonna hit it. Boom, boom. Is that loud? All right, so I like to keep them pretty big because that's kind of easier, and you're not really going to want to get like a whole mouthful of these. So I already have made some here, if you can see. They're so pretty, and they really do look like the gems. Okay, so as you know, I like to kind of do it backwards. I've never actually done it backwards, so bear with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come around here. And I don't like the look of the vagina cake, which I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So I like to kind of start at the top kind of big and then just kind of go down into a V. And I'm just doing it very, very lightly just to kind of get the feel. So I'm just gonna kind of go here and do like here. And you want it to be kind of, you don't want it to be perfect. You want it to be kind of zigzaggy. So you just kind of, I always like to just do a really light poke in my icing first, just so I can kind of see. And I'm kind of liking that. I think it's kind of like you're taking out a cut of your cake. But you know what? There's a million examples online. So what I would do is look online and kind of see what you like, because there really is a million different things. So I'm going to try and do this backwards. I recommend that you just take out a little bit at a time. I don't know if you can even see me. So now I'm doing it left-handed and backwards. So this is probably not the safest, but we're gonna do it anyways for your viewing pleasure. Okay, and I recommend kind of getting in there deep. So you just want to take off a little bit at a time, because you know, you can always take off more. I guess you could put it back, but you know. And then, so this is super fun doing it backwards, just so you know. Don't know if I'll make this my new standard. Okay, and those Jolly Ranchers are smelling so good. Okay, so I think that this is pretty good. We've got it kind of zigzaggy here. We can make it a little more zigzaggy there. Okay, so we will eat that later. Okay, so now what we need to do is clean this off a little bit. Okay. And hopefully you can see that. Okay, now what we need to do is I have a little bit more buttercream over here. Okay. And can you guys see that? Hopefully. All right. I am going to just very, very easily crumb coat this little guy. And this is going to give your rock candy something to hold on to. So as you can see, it's kind of got the crumbs in it, so I'm not going to put it back in my freshly made buttercream, which is smart. Okay, so we've got one side kind of crumb coated. And if you were doing fondant or already had your outside of your cake perfect, you would certainly want to do this super, super careful. I like to do it kind of backwards, because that way I don't have to be quite so careful. All right, so I'm going to put my buttercream back over here because I'm done with this guy. Hopefully you guys can see. Okay, so I'm just going to clean him up a little bit. And I really don't want these crumbs here. Okay. And this would probably, if this was for an order, I would just do like that. Okay. So we have our little hole here, and we are ready for our rock candy. And don't forget, this is very kid friendly, so let your kids do this part. Let them have some fun. So we have our big pieces. Hopefully you can see this. You know, we have our big pieces. So I like to start in the middle, okay? And there is no rhyme or reason. You just put them in there and make them look beautiful. If he falls, I'm going to take him out because I don't want there to be buttercream on the outside, because I think that will take away from the look. So we're just going to build him up, and your kids can go absolutely crazy with this. They can do any way they like. Now, if you were doing the typical style, you'd want to have a light color green, a dark color green, and then probably a white. Or if you could get a really, really light shade of green. And so then you would start with the dark in the middle, and then the other shade lighter on the, and I like to go 2 dark and then 2 or sometimes 3 lighter, and then the outside white. I try and keep it to 1, sometimes 2. Okay, so there we've got the middle and then the sides, and then you really just want to fill it in. And again, this is something that you can do with your kiddos, and obviously this is a very, very popular cake, or at least it is here. I don't know if it still is where you guys live. People still love it here. So I'm just going to continue this, and I'm using the bigger ones, as big as I can find. And if you get the actual jewels mold, then you'll really want to place them just beautifully. And I probably could have put a little bit of extra crumb coat in there, because ideally you do not want to see any of the buttercream, or definitely any of the cake. So you just fill it in. Now remember, I am doing this backwards, upside down. I'm on my head, so I can't really even see what I'm doing, but that's okay. They don't have to be straight. They can be jagging out. They can be doing anything they want. Okay, so I don't think that this is perfect for selling it, but I think for now, upside down, it's perfect. The light is washing out the cake. The light in my, let me see if I can, I don't know if I can do anything about that. Oh, I do see it happening though. Is that any better? I do see that. Okay, I think that might be a little better, hopefully. Okay, now I have this really cool technique that I like to do, and I'm gonna show you. So if I were doing this for a wedding or for something very like a sophisticated event, I would probably do fondant, and I would probably marble it. But we're at home, we're not gonna waste the money on fondant, and our kids are just gonna devour this. So I'm gonna show you a marbling technique that you're going to love, and you can just do it with buttercream. So I'm gonna put you back down, and I'm gonna show you how I do this. Hopefully without being washed out. Okay, so I can definitely see it happening. I just don't know how to avoid it. Okay, and that's not it. All right, well, we're gonna continue. So when we think about marbling, we think about these, and let me see if I can move you down a little bit. That might work. See if that works at all. All right. So what I like to do is, if you kind of can imagine how marbling would go. So you're gonna just take a little offset spatula. I like the little tiny pointy one, and you're just gonna dig in there. Not so far that you see the cake, but you just want to kind of make a little divot in there. And if you can imagine those combs, that's what I'm trying to think of. The combs that you dig in and go around, this is kind of a play off that. So you just stick another one in there, and then kind of, so you can just imagine how the marble would have like lines and beauty. Okay. So I'm just kind of making my own pattern. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. You literally can do whatever you want. But we just want to kind of dig it in there, okay? Now, we have some green buttercream, okay? And we are going to take our green, and this is just a tiny round circle, you know, like point them. I don't know what size this is. It's an Ateco, and I think it's an 8, but I don't know if that equates to the Wilton ones. So, just like we would do if we had those I keep calling them crumbs, but they're combs, and we would stick her in there. Okay. And then stick it in there. And I'm definitely doing this not perfectly, but that's okay. Okay, you get the idea, hopefully. So we're shoving them in that hole. Okay, and then once we get them all filled in, now there's a couple ways you can do it. You can just take your bench scraper and go ahead and do it, but I like to help it along a little bit, because I find that when I just take the bench scraper and go like you would do on the cones, that it just drags it across and you don't really get that definition. So let me turn back around here. So I kind of go with the curve. Okay, I'm gonna go with the curve. And this guy was not good enough, but that's okay. So we're just lightly doing this. I am literally laying on my side doing this. I'm so sorry, but I just really want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of follow him. Okay. So it kind of gives you that. Now, this is really important. You're gonna do your bench scraper, but you're gonna do it super, super light, because you kind of want it to be smoothed out for sure. Okay, so there you have kind of like a marble. Now, what I like to do after that, and you can do more. You can do whatever you want. I like to take some food coloring and a little paintbrush, and I like to kind of give it those deeper things. And I probably would put this in a little container so I'm not cross-contaminating anything. Hopefully you guys can see. So I would just do like this, and I actually probably need to pop him back in the freezer, but that's okay. We're not going to do that right now. So you would probably want to pop him back in the freezer before you did this. Just kind of give him that extra dimension. And this is great for kids. I mean, it's basically like arts and crafts. I need a little bit more. I'm just going to use the end of this guy, because we can wash him later. Okay, hopefully you guys can see it. Hopefully the light is doing well. And I would more brush. This guy, he just really didn't like it. Okay. So, and you can, if you really wanted to do this, you could come in and kind of darken these guys up a little bit. I don't think it's necessary. I wouldn't do it, but just showing that you kind of could. Okay, so the final thing that we want to do is my favorite, is we have our gold. And I showed you this gold yesterday, or no, the day before yesterday. So it is the petal dust. Let's see what it's called. It's the Rainbow Dust Paint Metallic Dark Gold, and it is 100% edible. So again, I'm going to try and do this backwards, sideways, etc., etc. And I would, at this point, freeze my cake again, because this is gonna not be perfect, but that's okay. So, I'm gonna kind of just, can you guys see that? Gonna kind of do him very carefully. And I like to do it just a little bit on the edge of the cake, and then a little bit edge. And my cake is very, very soft. So he definitely needs to go in the freezer. But for demo purposes, we are not going to do that, because I definitely don't think you guys want to spend your Saturday night watching my cake freeze or chill. I can't even see what I'm doing. Hopefully you guys can. Okay. So hopefully that looks good. I'm going to give myself a little bit more. Okay. And then we're going to go on this side. My poor little guy. He's saying, freeze me, freeze me. He is definitely saying, freeze me. But he's still going to taste good. All right. And I would do him up here. Now, one thing that I didn't show you that I would have done also is the marble effect on the top. I just didn't think about it. So after you make him all perfect, if you want to, you can go back and stick some more gems in there when you're not standing on your head. Okay, so hopefully for demo purposes, you guys got this. All right, so here we are, a fondant, buttercream geode cake that you can do with your kiddos. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Melissa will be on tomorrow, and if you haven't signed up for her cookie class, she's having it on the 25th, so make sure you check that out. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be an hour and a half long. It's step by step. She does everything with you. She'll troubleshoot with you, and she has a very exciting announcement on that cookie class. It's a master class. So have a good night, happy weekend. I hope you guys are enjoying your Coronication, and I will see you guys soon.